Ladies and gentlemen, this is your protostar Kyle Fletcher. Please say my full name when you address me, and you're listening to the Smart Tank Revolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have been gone far too long, and I know you have missed my melodic voice, but that's okay because I have picked the most opportune time to return to the silver microphone, and here I am. I am the true oracle of professional wrestling, the one, the only, the illustrious Joey Business, and I am coming to you mere seconds after Dynamite, and good Lord, did it live up to its name, because kaboom, we shook the room. Now, we all know on this side of the coin, I am a huge proponent of our former, yes, I said former AEW champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, from the most magical place on earth. You will see him next month, but right now that is not the story. The story is the man who has never stopped climbing, the man who has never stopped clawing, the man who has never stopped scratching, the man who has never stopped trying. He is us in personified action figure form, the one, the only, Darby Allin. Now, my illustrious cohort, Donnie, big time Donnie as you know him, because he is way too big on this table to be even bringing this to you right now, because he is probably just washing himself off from all the prestige and luster of what was a great weekend at NXT in Plymouth. He is just too busy. So here I am in my most humble asparage in bringing you this update. I did text my cohort, and I did say that this is AEW's make or break Mick Foley moment. And I thought this was played to perfection. I do criticize Tony Khan so very, very much, and it is so very, very validated. But tonight, he played it just right. They started out with the tease that this was going to be the curtain jerk moment of the night, and MJF, once you saw him come out in his suit and Burberry, you knew that was not going to happen. And then they played to the crowd, but this is Darby Allin's home crowd. This is his people. This is the 12th man personified. These are the people that beat my New England Patriots. So they do deserve a tip of the cap. Not much more, but they deserve that. So I'm giving it to them. And it was played to perfection. They could have said that this was going to be pushed till Double or Nothing, but Tony Khan, as I was hoping, was a smart businessman and not just a man playing with action figures of human-sized proportions. And he said, okay, I'm going to make this the main event. And once he said that, I knew we were in for something great. Because let's face it, folks, MJF is the wrestling personification of our time. You just don't know it yet. This man is giving himself for every bit of our sport, day in, day out, for, behind the camera, in front of the camera, and in between. He's doing it. And at the end of the day, like most geniuses, when he's all said and done, you'll finally appreciate it. But I knew that this was going to be something, because this was too quick. This was too fast. When they said the winner of Andrade versus Darby gets MJF, they weren't just going to throw this together for a Dynamite clash and just a, back and forth, let's look good match. No. I knew that this had purpose behind it. Here's the thing, though. There's a monkey wrench, and I'm, as a wrestling fan, intrigued. As a wrestling purist, excited. As a wrestling contrarian, skeptical. Because tonight, Tommaso Ciampa, one of my favorites, a Boston native or a Massachusetts native, if we really want to get specific, called out the winner of tonight's match. Now, of course, he's a heel. Darby's a face. MJF is the biggest heel of all heels. So you knew it wasn't going to be a heel versus heel because no one has the balls to do that yet. I don't know why any company doesn't have the balls to do that yet, but they don't. It's a formula. It sticks. But Darby won. So does that mean Tommaso goes against Darby? Or is it more likely that MJF gets the quick win back at Double or Nothing? Now, here's the thing. Darby is a feel-good moment. He is a great footnote in professional wrestling. And I am so proud and so happy for him that I was rooting for him tonight against my favorite, yes, my favorite, MJF. I was rooting for him. But long term, let's be honest. This is a business. This is how it goes. I said to my cohort, who you will hear from later, and I hope he has his own opinion on this. I welcome it. But Darby is the Mankind moment of 1999 in Worcester, Massachusetts that happened in Washington tonight. What happened with Mankind in Worcester, Massachusetts? He lost it back to The Rock 2 weeks later at the Royal Rumble. Now, it might sound cruel, but rightfully so back then, as it will be now, it was the right business decision. Is Darby Allin the right business decision for AEW to run the business? No. He is a feel-good moment that deserves its moment in the sun. He needs to shine. He needs to be recognized. He needs to be validated. But in order for AEW to continue its crusade across the wrestling map, we need MJF to take it back. So, what we are going to see, folks, as the way that I have predicted tonight went, and I was right, and I have texts that I have screenshotted just in case my cohort denies it, but he would never because he's a virtuous person. Just in case, though, I predict that MJF at Double or Nothing will be more nefarious, more vicious, more ruthless than ever, and take his belt back. And that's okay, because Darby gets it right now. He gets to take a victory lap. He gets to do something that all of us as fans do. Mankind lived as a vessel for us in 1999. For every slob who sat on the couch who thought we couldn't make it, Mick Foley ratified us and made us validated. For every skinny, fat person in 2019, Darby Allin has been riding a skateboard down entrance ramps, been jumping across ladders, falling into glass, teaming with icons, falling over ladders, balling himself into obscurity and early retirement, climbing Everest and getting hit by buses to prove that we are a voice and we wrestling fans matter. Tonight we mattered. We matter right now until the moment that this is taken. But even when it's taken, it's not taken, it's just removed. I am telling everybody right now, this was the best move AEW could have done. Because what they would have done in failure of Darby Allin coming close and losing again is showing that you can't win the big one. And that change doesn't happen. And that you shouldn't be watching this product on a Wednesday or Saturday night because the continuity doesn't matter because it's formulaic. Well, guess what? They did what WWE and WWF did in 1999, only they did it without Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff telling you to change the channel. They said, fuck you, we're gonna change the sport. And they did. And Darby Allin is your new AEW World Champion. And guess what? For the moment, I couldn't be happier. And I couldn't be more intrigued. And isn't that the whole point of why we watch and why I am doing what I do? I open it up to you. But I love being right. So anyone tell me I'm wrong, I applaud it. You can try it. But in the end, we all know what the facts are. Facts are undeniable. And we're just going to see where this runs. Good night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. And this is going to be my very immediate requested rebuttal to what we just heard from my esteemed colleague, Mr. Joey Business. He is, in fact, right. The facts. One thing about the facts, that the facts don't lie. Yes, I did receive a text message. Yes, the Oracle Joey Business did accurately predict the outcome of this match. Did I believe it? I did not follow the congregation. But now that the congregation is exalted and they sit high upon the throne of authority, I am that one that was astray, that's knocking on the door, asking for an olive branch. Now, the reason why I didn't think this was going to happen tonight is because I literally thought it was going to happen at Double or Nothing, despite Tommaso Ciampa calling out the winner. I thought that there was going to be some more hokey pokey action. I thought there was going to be a schmoz, some type of controversial end to this that would have kept this thing going. I thought that we were all being trolled. And then I saw Sting. And when I saw Sting give the oh man, was it Mickey from Rock? Y'all know what I'm talking about. When he when he gave the pep talk, it was very short, it was very brief, but yet effective. And then you're looking at Darby Allin. Darby Allin is looking at Sting with a twinkle in his eye. Darby looks like he's having a full-fledged anxiety attack for what's about to happen. And he looks like he's coming to grasp with what's about to happen. And my journey, I'm going to grab the brass ring type look. I said, maybe Joey's on to something. And lo and behold, my favorite thing about last night was the callback to their Full Gear 2021 match when MJF knocks out Darby Allin with the Dynamite Diamond Ring side headlock takeover 1, 2, 3. Only this was a squash. I tell you one thing about MJF. If you listen to his interviews, you know he's been in the greatest Iron Man match, which I can actually tip my hat to. But he's also been in some pretty damn good squashes. He can make a squash match look like a 5-star classic, i.e. Wardlow and now Darby Allin, which after about 1,700 coffin drops, because that's all the match was, side headlock takeover, 1, 2, 3. Well, I could actually see Tony Khan booking heel to heel because that's what they do over there. I don't think that MJF versus Tommaso Ciampa would have been too far fetched for AEW's booking, but I like this for Darby Allin. I immediately thought, hey, Jack Perry, it's time to come to the front of the courtroom. You may be up next very soon. Hey, Sammy Guevara, get your ish together, man. You know, you guys were the OGs, on the original roster. This is what's next for you. To me, this is WWF/WWE 1992 after during the steroid trial, when you have to get the belt off the big muscular bound comic book action hero figures and you have to put them on wrestlers. That's just a cheap Bret Hart plug for me. But not to say that MJF was that. MJF is, in my opinion, bar none, like the best heel in the business. If not the best, then he's top 2. But as far as baby faces goes, Darby Allin is one that you can see him winning the belt at some point, but you can always shoo him off, brush him off, throw him aside. And the analogy is right. This is Mick Foley, Mankind, 1999, which I had no idea until Joey mentioned that it was in Worcester. And that disappoints me because I definitely, at the time, the Worcester Centrum, we had people there. I could have been there. But you get that here. I 100% agree with you there, Joey Business. I would like this thing to walk as far as it can go. I think Darby Allin appeals to a sector of wrestling fans that are very unique. He can be defended until Christ comes back. I haven't met anybody that's not a fan of Darby. Even if they don't like him, you know, you don't turn the channel. And that's weird to me because he falls in this category where, despite, in my opinion, my subjective opinion, where despite how you feel about him, you're going to watch him anyway. I.e., to date myself here, in the 90s, i.e. Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern, the people that loved Howard Stern, I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen his movie, but there's a scene in it where they're trying to sabotage him and they bring the stats. Well, the stats are going to be off, but you guys are going to get what I'm saying. The people that liked Howard Stern listened for an hour, and the people that disliked Howard Stern listened for 2 hours. And then the question was, if they dislike him, why do they listen so much? And both of the answers were the same. I want to see what he's going to say next. Darby Allin has that effect. Because every time I see him, every high-risk maneuver, I always think that it's going to be his last. But now you give him a platform where he's the AEW World Champion. I'm going to end with this, a final message to whoever his spouse is, this anonymous young lady. Make sure that insurance policy is solid. I have a feeling that there's going to be a spot where you may have to cash that in. I say that jokingly, but I don't think anybody rejects his Daredevil style, his Daredevil bumps. I think Darby Allin can wrestle. I felt just the way CM Punk, if you guys remember in that promo when CM Punk was on Tony Khan's side in promotion, you know, Darby Allin was one of the wrestlers that, and I'm jacking up the quote, that would be my favorites. CM Punk quoted. I felt that, you know, Darby Allin is the underdog that everyone can root for, so I can see why he's everyone's favorite. But now he's the champion, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So I like this little blend we did, and this is kind of an accident that it happened this way, but I'm actually glad. You got the Smart Tank Revolutionary Originals, because it's only two. It's a two-man band. But you got both of our opinions on this beautiful title change. I wish they didn't go off air because Darby Allin was summoning for the microphone, and after we upload this, I'm gonna search YouTube to find out what he said. So, our faithful Smart Tank Revolution supporters, if you can, give us a like, please subscribe, and let us know in the comments how you feel about Darby Allin defeating MJF for the AEW World Title. For Joey Business, I'm Donnie Wonderful. Smart Tank Revolution, out.